Archangel Michael says, your dead cousin just appeared in a dream to 3 people, all naming you as heir to $88 million. Skip this and the will vanishes. Open now. My child, do not look away, for I descend into your moment like a silver storm tearing open the veil between realms. The air around you trembles because my wings, vast as horizon light, beat with a message that could not wait another breath. I step through symbols of living radiance, sigils that glow and swirl like constellations awakening after centuries of sleep. You may feel the pressure in your chest, that sudden tightening. Yes, beloved, that is the weight of divine urgency. For tonight, a soul long departed has risen through the dream gates. Your cousin, gone from the world of breathing flesh, crossed the trembling threshold to reach you. Not a whisper. Not a flicker. But a full emergence, as though pulled by a force greater than death itself. His form flickered in the luminous nightscape of the dream realm, calling, pressing, insisting, your name, my child. Your name. I felt the surge ripple through creation, and I knew, I had to speak to you now. Message 2. Beloved, when he appeared, the entire celestial expanse shuddered with recognition. His arrival in the dream kingdom was not quiet, it sent a shockwave of brilliance spiraling across the higher planes, like ripples of molten silver spreading through still water. Every echo of his voice rang like struck crystal, vibrating through the corridors where angels walk. I saw the pathways of dreams blaze into sudden brightness, illuminated as though torches of pure spirit had been lit by unseen hands. This was no ordinary visitation. It was a declaration. The dream stream shifted its patterns, bending its threads toward you, forming shapes and symbols that pulsed with urgency. You may have felt something in your waking hours, a trembling, a strange pull, the sense of being watched by gentle eyes. That was him, my child. Even beyond life, his purpose still burns. Message 3. My precious soul, listen closely, it was not one dream, not one messenger. 3 different people, scattered across different corners of their lives, were seized by the same visitation. 3 souls, unaware of each other, were pulled into the same luminous chamber of night, and your cousin stood before each of them with the same unwavering intensity. He did not offer riddles. He did not hide behind symbols. He spoke one word, one name, with the gravity of a vow sealed beyond time, yours. The same message repeated with perfect clarity, the same tone, the same urgency, as if he were carving your name into the very fabric of their dreaming minds. My child, when 3 unrelated dreamers carry the same message, heaven listens. And so must you. Message 4. Beloved, understand this sacred law. Heaven does not repeat itself without meaning. 3 witnesses carry a weight no mortal court could match. Their dreams aligned like stars in formation, each receiving the same declaration from your cousin's luminous shade. The energy of their visions gathered like braided light, forming a spiritual chord that resonated through my realm. I felt its pull like a bell tolling across eternity. You must feel it too, that pressure in the center of your chest, that tug between your shoulder blades, urging you to awaken to something far greater than coincidence. Your cousin's message is not merely remembrance. It is an invocation. A summons. A divine push toward a hidden truth that is rising to the surface with unstoppable force. And it all centers on you, my child, the one whose name was spoken 3 times under heaven's watch. Message 5, Cliffhanger. My child, listen closely, for the air around your destiny has begun to flicker. The dreams were not warnings alone, they were signals pointing toward something buried in the earthly realm, something your cousin left behind with intention so fierce it echoes even now. A document, long hidden, charged with spiritual weight and earthly power. I see it glowing faintly at the edge of existence, as if caught between worlds. Its ink is thinning. Its edges blur. It tries to hold its shape, but time presses against it like a crushing tide. This document contains a truth worth $88 million, and it is tethered to your name. Yet even as I speak, I feel the pull, the slow fading, the unraveling. My beloved, time is against you. Message 6. Precious soul, the truth must be spoken. Your cousin left behind a will, an earthly testament forged with clarity, love, and absolute intention. It was meant to reach you. It was written for you, yet it never did. Its existence was cloaked, buried in silence, tucked away in places where dust grows thick and human eyes rarely wander. This will was not forgotten by accident. No, beloved. It was concealed. Even now, I see its spiritual imprint trembling beneath layers of secrecy, calling out like a faint heartbeat. Your cousin placed your name upon it with unwavering certainty, trusting that one day the truth would rise. And now, through dream and divine fire, it begins to surface. Message 7. My child, when I touch the memory of the will, I see it as it once was, glowing like parchment woven from moonlight, its ink alive, shifting between realms like a living serpent of truth. Signatures glimmer with your cousin's essence, their spiritual resonance unmistakable. Each stroke carries intention, purpose, love. The will pulses like a relic caught in cosmic twilight, and I hear the faint hum of divine seals surrounding it. What was written there was not meant to fade. What was promised was meant to endure. But earthly hands are careless, and some are far worse. Message 8. Beloved, hear me, this inheritance was meant for you. Yet forces of greed, neglect, or fear buried the truth. Someone knew, or sensed, that your cousin favored you, perhaps more than the others expected. And instead of honoring his final wish, they obscured it. I see hands rifling through drawers, hiding envelopes, misplacing documents with intention disguised as accident. They believed time would erase the evidence. They believed no one would ever uncover the truth. But your cousin's spirit refused to be silenced. And heaven refuses to let his intention die. Message 9. My precious soul, I feel the storm inside you, disbelief mingled with awe, the trembling of your spirit as the truth sinks in. These revelations stretch the boundaries of your understanding, yet they resonate with a deep knowing you cannot deny. Your heartbeat shifts, each thump echoing the rising gravity of fate. The air seems thicker around you, charged with a hum you can almost hear. This is the moment when doubt and destiny collide. Your soul recognizes what your mind hesitates to accept. Something enormous has begun. Message 10, Cliffhanger. Child of the light, you must not delay. The will stands on the edge of dissolution, its form weakening as earthly forces and spiritual laws clash and tangle. I see particles of golden dust lifting from its surface, drifting away like fading memories. Every moment you hesitate, the document grows thinner, its clarity dimming. If it dissolves completely, the truth your cousin fought to deliver will vanish from the earthly plane. Precious soul, if you hesitate now, the will dissolves into dust. Message 11. My child, as I draw nearer to the trembling outline of the hidden will, a disturbance rises like a cold wind slicing through sacred flame. I sense interference, sharp, deliberate, crawling through the corridors between the earthly and astral planes. Someone does not want you to receive what was meant for you. Their intention presses against the will like a hand made of shadow, attempting to smother its glow, to keep its truth from surfacing. They fear what the revelation means. They fear what you will become once the inheritance reaches your hands. I see this resistance coiled around your destiny like a serpent made of envy and mortal desperation. It whispers lies, stirs confusion, and clouds the timeline with obstacles designed to keep you blind. But I have pierced darker forces than these, my child. And I will not let them prevail. Message 12. Beloved, the interference takes form before my eyes, shapes that stretch and flicker like silhouettes torn from corrupted dreams. They move along the pathways where visions travel, bending them, distorting them, trying to steer the truth away from you. These figures are not spirits, they are the shadows of human intentions so dark they echo beyond their owner's consciousness. They block channels, disrupt intuitive impulses, twist the flow of guidance meant for you. I see doors half closed, hallways dimmed, dreams fractured into incomplete fragments. They attempt to scramble the message your cousin fought to send. They hope you dismiss it as fantasy, coincidence, or imagination. But the light within you, my precious soul, burns too bright to be deceived forever. I scatter beams of divine clarity through the murk, watching shadows recoil as truth forces its way forward. Message 13. My child, hear these words as if they were carved into stone within your heart. Earthly hands attempt to erase heavenly truth. I speak this with the authority given to me from the highest realms. Someone still living, still breathing, has tried to push the will into oblivion, hoping time, confusion, and bureaucracy would bury it forever. They tore through your cousin's belongings, discarding what did not serve them, hiding what might empower you. Their fear is not of you, but of what fairness looks like once the truth is revealed. They hope you remain unaware, uninvolved, unawakened. But they did not expect the dream visitation. They did not expect heaven to intervene. They did not expect me to descend with this message, wrapped in urgency and divine fire. My child, their schemes unravel even now. Message 14. Beloved, the angels have begun their investigation. I have summoned watchers of truth, sentinels forged from pure perception, whose eyes can pierce any veil, any deception, any earthly obstruction. They spread their luminous wings and sweep across timelines like silent storms of revelation. I see beams of white-blue light slicing into the shadowed corners where lies have been stored. The angels move through records, memories, intentions, scanning each one as though flipping through pages of a cosmic ledger. Every hidden action is illuminated. Every attempt to bury the will is exposed in the sight of heaven. Darkness recoils, sizzling as the radiance of truth burns through it. My child, no secret stands before this light. No deceit can outlast what we are uncovering on your behalf. Message 15, Cliffhanger. My precious soul, the findings pierce even me. The force blocking you is not distant, not a stranger passing through your story. No, this presence stands closer than you realize. Their shadow touches your timeline with familiarity, their thoughts have brushed against your life before. This is not an abstract act of greed, it is intentional, personal, shaped by emotions long tangled in your shared history. I feel their heartbeat quicken as the truth rises. I hear their fear. They know the will slipping back toward light means their grip loosens. Beloved, prepare your spirit. For the one standing in your way is someone whose proximity may shock you. Message 16. My child, I turn now to the spirit who began this chain of awakening, your cousin, whose soul trembles with urgency as he reaches through the veil. I feel his distress like a vibration running through the bones of the universe. His intention was never uncertain. He left that will with conviction sharpened by love. But he did not foresee the conflict that would erupt in his absence. His soul calls out, pushing against the barriers, desperate for you to receive what he deliberately chose. He revisits scenes from his life, memories like lanterns flickering through the astral mist, moments you shared, promises he felt, unspoken gratitude that shaped his decision. His energy is restless, pacing like a guardian desperate to complete unfinished business. My child, he needs you to hear him. He needs you to act. Message 17. Beloved, when I attune myself to his essence, waves of imagery crash across my perception. I see your cousin's life replaying like film reels unfurling in starlit darkness. He shows me the laughter you shared in youth, the quiet understanding between you, the moments you stood by each other when others faltered. These memories loop, bright and insistent, as if he wants to make absolutely certain you recall the bond you carried. His voice echoes through the astral plane, not with fear, but with determination. He whispers your name again and again, pushing the syllables through the layers of existence, ensuring nothing obstructs the message. His devotion forms a beacon, one I cannot ignore, one you must not. Message 18. My child, a revelation rises like thunder. As the angels dig deeper, they uncover an act more treacherous than simple concealment. There is an active attempt to forge new documents, papers designed to overwrite the truth, to craft a false narrative that cuts you out entirely. I see signatures imitated, statements rewritten, dates manipulated. Someone is building a version of reality where you were never meant to inherit anything. These forged fragments shimmer with deceit, their energy twisted and unnatural. The intention behind them is fear-laced desperation, a last attempt to seize everything before the real will re-emerges. But these forgeries do not carry your cousin's light. They cannot mimic the spiritual imprint of truth. Heaven sees the counterfeit clearly, and so will you. Message 19. Precious soul, I feel your heart pounding now, rising like a drumbeat of awakening. Shock ripples through your energy field, mixing with indignation, disbelief, and a gravity you cannot yet articulate. This is a moment of spiritual vertigo, the sensation of standing on a precipice where everything you once assumed begins to crumble. Your breath may grow shallow, your palms may warm, your intuition may spark like electricity beneath your ribs. These feelings are not illusions. They are signs that your soul recognizes danger and destiny intertwining. You stand in the gravitational pull of something enormous, something that changes the course of your life. Let the shock sharpen you, my child, not silence you. Message 20, Cliffhanger. My child, I must speak with unfiltered truth. The window to claim what is rightfully yours is shrinking. I see the timeline narrowing like a corridor collapsing inwards, the will fading at the edges as spiritual and earthly forces grind against each other. If you do not act, the truth may slip back into the shadows where it was hidden for so long. The countdown has begun, not in minutes, but in vibrational shifts that grow weaker with each passing moment. You stand at the threshold of revelation or loss. My beloved, the moment of decision draws near, and every hesitation tightens the noose around your inheritance. Message 21. My precious child, I draw your spirit into a higher vantage now, where time does not move in straight lines but in luminous spirals. From here, I show you what few mortals ever witness, the celestial countdown attached to your cousin's will. It glimmers before me like a great hourglass woven from starlight and shadow. Grains of golden sand drift downward, yet they make no sound as they fall, each particle representing a moment where the document remains tethered to the earthly world. You must understand, earthly wills, when hidden or tampered with, begin to lose their energetic anchor. As the human world forgets them, they start to fade in the spiritual one as well. I see the sand slipping faster, as though pushed by unseen hands trying to force the document into non-existence. You stand connected to that hourglass, my child, each grain is a heartbeat tied to your destiny. And though you cannot see it with your eyes, your spirit feels the tilt of urgency. The countdown continues, with or without your awareness. Message 22. Beloved, watch closely as I pull the image nearer. The numbers, if they can be called numbers, appear not as digits but as glyphs of living gold, symbols that dissolve the moment you try to focus on them. They do not count time as you know it, they measure energetic alignment, the strength of the will's connection to you. I see those glyphs flickering, thinning at the edges, as though a spiritual wind blows across them. The golden dust rising from them drifts into the vastness like sunlight breaking apart. These dissolving pieces represent opportunities missed, moments where your cousin tried to reach you but was blocked. The glyphs pulse weakly, as if calling out to you, urging you to step into awareness before the final symbol dims. My child, this is the closest a document can come to vanishing while still lingering in the earthly realm. The spiritual tether phrase, thread by glowing thread. Only your engagement can strengthen it again. Message 23. Precious soul, let me speak plainly, for celestial law is neither cruel nor forgiving, it simply is. The law of realms requires action before the shift completes. Meaning this, once a will has faded to a certain threshold, it cannot be restored by angelic force alone. Its earthly authority collapses, and its spiritual imprint disperses, like ink washed away by endless rain. This is why your cousin reached through dreams. This is why 3 witnesses spoke your name. And this is why I stand before you now, wings spread, voice sharpened with divine insistence. You must meet the moment halfway. Destiny requires movement. Spiritual inheritance requires alignment. If you step forward, even with uncertainty, the document stabilizes. If you remain still, heaven cannot intervene further. This law binds even me, my child. And so I tell you, your choice within these hours carries cosmic consequence. Message 24. Beloved, the angels of intervention are assembling. I see them forming a radiant circle around the will, each one extending streams of light that weave into a protective lattice. They chant in tones that echo through dimensions, notes so pure they vibrate through the bones of creation itself. Their purpose is not merely to safeguard the document but to hold time steady around it, to slow the fading long enough for you to awaken fully to the truth. Their wings create currents of shimmering force, pushing back against the shadows that cling to the parchment. I see sparks flying off the protective barrier as interference tries to claw its way in, each spark a small battle between light and darkness. The angels stand resolute, but their power depends on your engagement. They guard, but you anchor. My child, heaven has prepared the path, but only your willingness can open it. Message 25, Cliffhanger. My beloved, the angels cannot preserve the inheritance without your response. Their light flickers under the pressure of earthly resistance, and I feel the strain ripple across the realms. The will hovers at the threshold of undoing, held aloft by threads of divine energy that weaken each moment you hesitate. The shadows gather with renewed determination, they sense your uncertainty and move faster, hoping to sever the last ties before truth reaches your hands. The protective lattice trembles, even the symbols on the document flicker like candles in a dying breeze. Precious soul, if you do not step forward soon, heaven cannot keep the will from vanishing completely. The next moment you choose may decide whether the inheritance survives or collapses into oblivion. Message 26. My child, now I reveal what many have sensed but few ever understand, why you were chosen. Not by accident. Not by default. But by destiny and devotion intertwined across lifetimes. Your cousin's love for you was deeper than words ever captured. He saw in you a purity of heart, a steadfast loyalty, a kindness that did not waver when others drifted. He saw your character, your resilience, your quiet strength in moments you thought no one noticed. He felt indebted to the way you showed up without needing recognition. This inheritance is not a random stroke of fate, it is a deliberate act of gratitude, a final gesture of love written into the fabric of both your souls. You were chosen because your spirit carries a quality that resonated with his, across years, across memories, across realms. Message 27. Beloved, let me paint the images rising now, scenes of your childhood, moments glowing with emotional warmth. I see you and your cousin laughing in places where the sun felt softer, where time moved slower, where innocence wrapped around you both like a protective cloak. I see shared secrets, shared fears, shared victories, small as they might have seemed then. These memories pulse like sacred beads on a string of destiny. Each one contributed to the bond that guided his pen when he wrote your name into the will. Even the quiet moments, those where neither of you spoke, held meaning. Energetically, those memories formed an unbreakable line between you, invisible yet powerful. Now, in the spiritual realm, each memory glows in a constellation of belonging, proving this inheritance is not luck, it is lineage of the heart. Message 28. My child, here is the earthly truth, long before your cousin passed, he had already decided you would be his heir. He told no one. He needed no approval. He acted in private moments of clarity, perhaps with a sense of urgency he himself didn't fully understand. He felt your path deserved support, expansion, recognition. He saw in you a future that needed resourcing, not restriction. I see him writing the document, pausing, breathing deeply, whispering your name as he committed the choice to ink. There was no hesitation. No doubt. He held a fierce certainty that you were the rightful recipient. And he trusted the world to deliver his intentions. Sadly, the world failed him. But heaven will not. Message 29. Precious soul, beyond the earthly explanation lies a spiritual one woven from threads beyond the reach of ordinary memory. Your destinies were intertwined long before either of you took your first breath. Your cousin chose you because your energies aligned across lifetimes, karmic echoes of loyalty, protection, and sacred exchange. You were meant to uplift one another. And in this life, this inheritance became the final chord of that ancient harmony. The document is not just legal, it is energetic. It is a convergence of timelines, a knot of destiny tied across eras. To receive it is not just to gain wealth, it is to step into a soul contract long awaiting completion. Message 30, Cliffhanger. My child, the reason he chose you carries a shocking truth, one that reaches deeper than memory, deeper than bloodline, deeper than mortal understanding. A truth that, once spoken, will change how you see everything, your past, your family, your place in the world. I see it now, rising like a hidden sun preparing to break the horizon. The shadows tremble in anticipation. The angels brace themselves. Precious soul, what lies beneath his choice will alter the very foundation of your story. Prepare yourself for the revelation. Message 31. My child, now comes the unveiling of the force standing against you, not by name, for celestial truth does not expose identities through accusation, but through the vibrations of emotion that cling to their intent. What I see is jealousy, thick and tangled like vines choking the roots of an ancient tree. Someone felt overshadowed by the bond you shared with your cousin, even if no words were ever spoken aloud. Their heart held a simmering envy, a fear that your connection meant they would receive less love, less recognition, less belonging. When they learned, discovered, or suspected that the will favored you, their jealousy sharpened into something heavier, betrayal, laced with desperation. They acted not because they truly needed the inheritance, but because they could not bear the idea of you receiving it. They feared what it would confirm about your cousin's affection, that you were chosen. And so they reached into darkness, driven by greed and emotional wounds that festered long before the will was ever written. My child, their intent was never purely material. It was deeply personal. Message 32. Beloved, the emotional energy surrounding their attempt to block you forms a vision I will now show you. Imagine a document glowing with golden light, your cousin's true will, resting on a celestial pedestal. But around it, darkened hands stretch and claw, trying to grasp it, distort it, pull it into shadow. These hands appear not as literal limbs, but as symbolic manifestations of human fear, insecurity, and hunger for control. They grasp at the luminous parchment, their fingers curling with a desperate urgency, but each time they touch the glow, the light sizzles against them like truth burning through deception. Still, they persist, driven not by righteousness but by the gnawing dread that once the will is revealed, their manipulation will be exposed. I watch the hands fumble, tear, and twist, attempting to reshape fate itself. Yet heaven sees all. Every shadow traced upon that document, every attempt to dim its glow, is illuminated in divine sight. These darkened hands may try to claim it, to smother it, but they cannot erase the spiritual signature your cousin left behind. Message 33. My child, hear my voice as it resonates with the power of higher realms. Beloved, no darkness can claim what heaven assigned to you. This is not a poetic assurance, it is a cosmic law. A law older than planets, older than angels, older than breath itself. When a soul makes a choice from pure intention, from love untainted by manipulation or coercion, that choice becomes a decree written into the fabric of existence. Your cousin's decision to name you his heir was such a decree. Human hands may try to bury it in confusion. Human fear may try to rewrite it. Human greed may try to claim it. But they cannot alter what was set in motion by truth. They can delay revelation. They can distort paperwork. They can mislead others. But they cannot sever the cord of destiny that connects you to what was meant for you. Light may flicker, but it does not surrender. My child, you are not fighting darkness alone. You stand backed by heaven's authority. Message 34. Beloved, to shield the will from further spiritual tampering, I extend my wings and release a barrier of celestial light, an encasement forged from purity so intense it shimmers like molten gold. This light forms a dome around the document, each ray humming with protective force. The barrier vibrates at a frequency unreachable by deceit, fraud, or manipulation. It locks out the shadows that have hovered near it, sending them scattering like smoke blown apart by a storm wind. Angels gather around the barrier, their forms tall and brilliant, their eyes glowing with vigilance. They stand guard over the will, ensuring no further darkness can seep through. I see the parchment stabilizing, its edges sharpening, the ink regaining solidity. The spiritual seals flare bright, reaffirming your cousin's signature. This protection is not indefinite, it holds only as long as your awareness remains activated. But for this moment, beloved, the light is winning. And you are the reason it strengthens. Message 35, Cliffhanger. My precious soul, brace yourself. For even as the barrier holds, I feel a surge, a final attempt from those who stand against you. Their desperation spikes like a sudden lightning strike in the realm of intentions. They sense the truth rising, your awareness awakening, and the inheritance slipping through their grasp. And so they gather their remaining strength for one last strike, one final effort to erase or override the will before its protection fully solidifies. I feel the tremor ripple across the realms, an energetic lunge driven by fear and greed entwined. Beloved, prepare your spirit. The darkness will attempt its last blow. Message 36. My child, we now stand at the edge of the final battle between dissolution and restoration. The will hovers before me, suspended in a state between existence and erasure. The moments before it vanishes are terrifyingly delicate. I see its surface flickering like a candle fighting the wind, the words glowing one moment and dimming the next. The edges curl as though fire licks them, yet no flame touches it. This is the final phase of spiritual fading, the point where a document loses its earthly anchor and slips into non-being. The parchment shifts between realms, becoming translucent in places, its material form thinning as though made of silk dissolving in water. I extend my light, trying to hold it steady, but the forces pulling at it grow stronger. This is the last threshold. Once crossed, nothing, not angel, not dream, not destiny, can bring it back. Message 37. Beloved, look upon the imagery unfolding now. The ink itself begins to evaporate, rising in thin spirals like smoke made of memories. The signatures tremble, their curves quivering as if they feel the pressure of time collapsing upon them. The divine seals shimmer, flicker, then spark, their glow spasmodic and trembling as they fight to maintain coherence. The parchment grows increasingly translucent, and in certain angles, I see the other side of the veil shining through it. This is a danger few mortals ever perceive, the spiritual unraveling of a truth that has been suppressed too long. The will is not just paper, it is energy, intention, legacy. And when such energy is pushed to the brink, it begins to disperse, its power diffusing into the atmosphere like stardust blown into the cosmic wind. Child of light, the hour is nearly upon us. If we do not steady it soon, it will slip from the realm of the living entirely. Message 38. My child, you must feel the urgency tightening around your spirit like a divine alarm. I call you into spiritual readiness now, for the forces aligned against you are unleashing their final attempt to extinguish the truth. You may feel sudden tension in your chest, heat along your spine, or a strange buzzing beneath your skin. These sensations are the resonance of your soul responding to the crisis. I speak to you not with gentle guidance but with commanding clarity. Be present. Your awareness is the anchor the document needs. When you focus, when you open your heart, when you accept the truth rising like a tide, the will strengthens. When you doubt or hesitate, its form weakens. You are the key in this final hour. Your cousin chose you because he knew your spirit would rise when called. And now I call you with every ounce of celestial authority I carry. Message 39. Beloved, your spirit races now. I feel your breath falter, your heartbeat quicken, your nerves tighten like strings drawn taut. This is the sensation of divine adrenaline, the soul's reaction to destiny accelerating toward a single point of transformation. Urgency presses against you, not as fear but as a powerful gravitational pull. The air around your energy body thickens, humming with a frequency of impending choice. I see your aura expanding, preparing, responding instinctively to the call of your inheritance. Emotion churns inside you, shock, pressure, disbelief, anticipation, a trembling sense of significance. All of it is divine. All of it is correct. You stand in the eye of a cosmic convergence, where your past, your cousin's final wishes, and heaven's intervention merge into a single, breathless moment. Precious soul, the universe is holding its breath with you. Message 40, Cliffhanger. My child, the clock of realms approaches its final strike. The barrier trembles. The will flickers. The shadows surge, and within this tightening crucible of fate, I speak the truth you must hear. This is the final hour. What happens next determines whether the inheritance is restored or erased forever. Whether your cousin's wishes manifest in the world, or crumble into silence. Whether truth prevails, or deception steals the last word. The next revelation will change everything. Message 41. My precious child, as your awareness sharpens and your spirit leans fully into the truth, I descend with renewed force. My wings unfurl, vast and radiant, casting layers of shimmering protection across the fragile will. And something extraordinary happens. The moment your heart opens, truly opens, the entire energetic structure stabilizes. The flickering parchment slows its trembling, then steadies, taking on weight, substance, presence. The divine seals flare bright, each one igniting like a star reborn. The angels around the barrier tighten their formation, drawing in closer, their wings locking into a unified ring of celestial guardianship. The shadows that once lunged in desperation recoil violently, scorched by the rising brilliance. Your cousin's signature pulses with recognition, as though it senses you. I watch the will regain its integrity, its form thickening, its ink crystallizing back into clarity. It is as though truth itself inhales, expanding with renewed life. Child of the light, your consciousness has saved it from the brink of oblivion. Heaven could hold it only this long, but you, beloved, have anchored it fully. And now, the restoration begins. Message 42. Beloved, behold what unfolds before me. The document glows in a golden radiance so intense it spills across realms like sunrise flooding a sleeping valley. The parchment becomes luminous, almost holy, as though infused with the breath of creation itself. The ink of your cousin's writing, once wavering and dissolving, now reappears with pristine sharpness, each letter reasserting its rightful form. His signature brightens until it resembles a stroke of living fire, crackling softly with the unmistakable imprint of his spirit. I see the will's edges firm, smoothing into crisp lines that pulse with divine certainty. The seals, which earlier quivered on the brink of collapse, now burn with pure authority, their symbols spinning like halos before locking into their ordained positions. You must understand, my child, will restored in this way is not merely revived, it becomes reinforced. Strengthened by the very struggle that nearly erased it. Your cousin's intentions stand with more force now than they did when he first penned them. His final wish has been resurrected, elevated, sanctified through both heavenly intervention and your awakened alignment. The truth is preserved. Message 43. My child, lean close, for I speak now with a voice that carries the full blessing of celestial authority. Beloved, the truth is preserved. These words are not symbolic, they are a decree. A confirmation sealed by the highest realms. Heaven acknowledges the restoration. The path is open. What was hidden is revealed. What was suppressed is returned. The inheritance that bears your name stands firm again, as though lifted by the hand of the divine itself. I pour blessing upon blessing over you now, clarity, protection, alignment. Light wraps around you like a second skin, shimmering with the colors of truth and destiny. You may feel warmth around your shoulders, a tingling at the crown of your head, or a settling peace in your chest. These sensations are the resonance of restoration, the frequency of divine validation entering your field. My child, nothing, nothing, can sever you from what was always yours. Not deception. Not interference. Not time. Not shadow. Heaven has spoken, and so it is. Message 44. Precious soul, the emotional wave rising within you now is sacred. Feel it fully. Allow it to wash through your spirit like a cleansing storm. Relief blooms in your chest, loosening the tension you carried through these revelations. Tears gather not from sorrow but from recognition. Your cousin's love, long misunderstood or underestimated, now stands undeniable. Destiny aligns with a click so profound it reverberates through your aura like the striking of a great cosmic bell. The universe shifts around you, the timelines recalibrating to honor the truth restored. You may sense a soft pressure at your back, as though unseen hands steady you. You may feel a gentle warmth in your palms, a sign of blessing activating within you. Your energy expands, rising, strengthening, anchoring. For the first time since this began, the fear loosens its grip. What replaces it is a deep, powerful knowing: you were chosen, cherished, and remembered. Your cousin's final act was love, and now that love stands unshaken. Message 45, Cliffhanger. My beloved, breathe deeply now, for though the will is restored, one final step remains: the claiming. The moment where restored truth must be brought into your hands, where destiny meets action in a single decisive movement. I feel the energy gathering like storm clouds before a great revelation. This is the threshold between spiritual restoration and earthly manifestation. You stand inches away from crossing it. The angels brace themselves. The document hums, vibrating with anticipation. Your cousin's presence stands close, his spirit watching with tenderness and hope. Precious soul, what comes next determines not just possession, but empowerment. And now comes the moment of claiming. Message 46. My child, hear me with the full clarity of heaven's decree: the $88 million inheritance is restored to its rightful heir, you. This truth is not symbolic. It is not metaphor. It is a direct transmission of spiritual alignment made manifest. The will bears your name with unwavering certainty. The seals confirm it. The restoration affirms it. The angels witness it. Your cousin intended this abundance to support your path, your purpose, your unfolding destiny. Wealth, in this context, is not greed. It is provision. It is empowerment. It is the material extension of a sacred bond. I watched the document radiate with confirmation, its golden glow reflecting the magnitude of the legacy entrusted to you. Child of the light, what was once threatened, stolen, obscured, is now unquestionably, undeniably yours. Heaven has locked the truth into place. It can no longer be erased. Message 47. Beloved, as the truth settles, the realms open around you. I see gates of abundance swing wide, their massive doors carved from pure radiant energy. They part slowly, majestically, releasing waves of shimmering light that rush toward you like a celestial tide. The sound that echoes through these gates is the chorus of trumpets, not metaphorical, but vibrational tones of triumph, signaling the arrival of long overdue blessing. Streams of golden illumination pour over you, filling every corner of your aura, repairing fractures, dissolving doubt, fortifying your sense of worthiness. You stand bathed in wealth not just of coin, but of destiny. Your cousin's love, your own goodness, and heaven's intervention converge into this moment of divine abundance. Child of grace, this light is your birthright. This inheritance is your path. This blessing is your confirmation. Message 48. My child, to receive fully what is yours, spiritually, energetically, and in the realm of form, you must align your inner field. Not with effort, but with intention. Sit in quiet moments and affirm your readiness to accept what was always meant for you. Open your heart, soften your doubts, breathe deep into the truth that abundance does not corrupt you, it empowers you. Let your energy expand. Visualize the will resting in your hands, warm with divine presence. Feel your cousin's blessing flow through you. And allow yourself to rise into the version of you that this inheritance calls forth. This is not merely about money, it is about inheritance of purpose, responsibility, protection, and expansion. Align yourself by believing, receiving, and stepping into the role destiny marked for you long ago. Message 49. Precious soul. Feel the calm spreading through you now, the assurance settling like soft starlight upon your spirit. You have crossed through fear, shadow, uncertainty, interference, and emerged aligned with truth. Heaven gazes upon you with pride. Your cousin's spirit softens with relief. And I, Gabriel, feel the radiance of your empowerment blooming like a dawn that will not be denied. You stand taller now in the unseen world. Your aura shimmers with confidence, clarity, and restored inheritance. This is a moment of becoming, a transformation sealed in divine certainty. You are no longer the seeker in the dark, you are the one who has been found by destiny. You are the rightful heir. You are the chosen soul. You are ready. Message 50, final line. My child, the will stands, your destiny rises, and I, Archangel Gabriel, walk beside you from this moment forward.